My name is Elkrief, and today I'd like to share with you the second of 6 ways to discover for yourself that your unwanted emotions are actually created by thoughts and not by circumstances. So to get started, I'd like to invite you to pick an unwanted emotion and then identify whatever circumstance you think is causing it. For example, if you wanted to stop feeling anxiety, you might look and see that you think your anxiety is created by your upcoming performance review at work. If you wanted to stop feeling shame, you might look and see that you think your shame is caused by your current living situation. So please take a moment to do this for yourself right now. Okay. So it certainly seems as though certain circumstances create certain emotions. However, in order to claim that a specific circumstance creates a specific experience, the same circumstance would have to always create the same experience for every person, every time. For instance, we can claim that a turned-on light bulb creates light because every person that comes into contact with a turned-on light bulb will experience light every time. We can claim that a flame creates heat because every person that comes into contact with a flame will experience heat every time. Therefore, in order to claim that a certain circumstance creates a certain emotion, it has to always create the same emotion for every person every time. That means a performance review at work would have to create anxiety for every person every time. And the same living situation would have to create shame for every person every time. And clearly this isn't the way life works. The same circumstance often corresponds with entirely different emotions for different people and different emotions for the same person at different moments in time. For example, with a performance review at work, one person might be happy going into it, another person might feel anxiety. The same person may feel anxiety going into one performance review, and the next one they might feel confident. The same living situation may make one person feel ashamed, and another person may feel very proud about it. Or for the same person, in some moments they might feel ashamed about their living situation, and in some moments it might not bother them at all. So if the same circumstance often corresponds with very different emotions for different people and for the same person at different moments in time, then it's clear that the circumstances themselves can't be what's creating the emotion. Right? If we take it even one step further, just think about all the bad events, the seemingly tragic events that seem to create our really intense unwanted emotions. Right? So, for example, getting fired from our job. That would seem to really create sadness or anxiety. But if you really didn't like your job and you were scared to leave, or if you were excited to get unemployment benefits, or if you were, excited about starting a new career path or going to a new company, then you would feel happy about leaving your job or getting fired from your job. You wouldn't have to feel sad. The same goes for a family member dying. That would seemingly create grief and sadness. But if you didn't know that family member very well, if you didn't like that family member at all, if you were excited to get the inheritance money, then you wouldn't feel sad or grief. You might feel happy about it. That's the way things go. It seems as though these types of tragic events automatically create certain emotions. But if the seemingly worst of circumstances can leave some people happy, then it can't be the circumstance itself that's creating our emotion. So to discover this for yourself right now with the unwanted emotion that you picked, I'd like to just ask you a couple of questions. Could somebody else be happy despite having the same circumstance that you have? Have you ever been happy under the same conditions? Could you be happy if you had different thoughts about your circumstance? And if the circumstance itself is what created your emotion, then wouldn't it produce the same emotion for every person and produce the same emotion for you in every moment. So if you can admit that other people could have a different emotion despite having the same circumstance, or if you can admit that you've had a different emotion despite having the same circumstance, or that you could have a different emotion if you had different thoughts about the same circumstance, then can you admit that your circumstance itself isn't what's creating your emotion? That it has to be your thoughts about the circumstance. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love it if you shared your experience with me in the comments area. Thanks for watching.